It is match day, and let's be fair, it's not for quite a long time. 8:15, which is a weird kickoff for this evening, and it's a late night for one and all. Myself and Gio included, particularly, we probably won't get wrapped up until about gone midnight, really, because we've obviously got to, well, obviously we watched the game. We do the preview before. Join us for that, which will be, 7:10, which join us for the preview, the build-up show, sorry, not the preview. Then afterwards, we're going to do our usual, we'll do our review, and then we do our player ratings, which we do for the Patreon. So that takes us up to quite late at night. If you want to get involved, you want to see that video, you want to see a lot of extra content with the Patreon stuff and just support Hammers Chat generally, then the link is in the description below, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Get involved. If you don't like looking at our faces, you can even just listen to us via audio things. I think they're called headphones, actually. Funny old set of results, but you've got to like what Newcastle have done there. That's really good and unexpected. I didn't know at the time. I just sort of checked on my phone and checked, and I think I saw it at 2-1. So, and I think it seemed to be quite late in the game then. So, Tottenham have got this wrapped up. But they're a funny team, Tottenham. They really are. That was definitely 2 points dropped for them there. And I think the only result that probably hasn't gone our way was the Liverpool one, where obviously Liverpool beat Arsenal convincingly. It wasn't so much that Liverpool beat Arsenal, it was more the fact that they looked back to their best. I thought Thiago had played particularly well since he signed for them. He looked really good in that game. And obviously the major worry is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has not been himself all season, and if he's going to start playing like that, then quite frankly, we're all in trouble. Aside from that, Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham, and even Arsenal, actually, did we really want Arsenal sat there on, 5 points behind us? Probably not. That's probably killed them off now. That probably means, touch wood, that Arsenal can't finish above us, which is I guess, a good thing. But it's all on us. It's all on us for tonight. I'm not going to talk about the game this evening particularly because we've done that over the past few games. But that's. You do wonder what that will do for Tottenham's morale or confidence or whatever the case may be. It is going to be really interesting. But that is, obviously, we just have games in hand now. So I think if we win against Wolves, then we go fourth, which is absolutely fantastic. But we got to do it, as I said yesterday. Anyway, that's not really what's been concerning me in the news today. The news today is, largely based around Jesse Lingard, of course. I've got a couple of other things to discuss as well in just a bit. But the Jesse Lingard thing, it's the Sun report. I don't know, the Sun, but we've got to deal with the rumours that are there. Claims Manchester United could double their valuation of Jesse Lingard from 20 million to 40 million. Okay, right. Let's just deal with that there. I've said numerous times, I think. Okay, put it this way, right? Let's look at this. Look at Craig Dawson. Now, Craig Dawson, apparently we have an obligation to buy at 3 million. Poor business from Watford. What Manchester United have done, for the reason I'm about to explain, is good business. Manchester United was so confident in Jesse Lingard's ability, so confident that Jesse Lingard was going to go to West Ham and play well, and I guess take the league by storm, that they resisted our attempts to try and insert a clause which would make the deal permanent. We tried to, and as I understand it, it would have been something like 10 to 15 million quid, and it was quite close to happening. We would have got him on loan, obligation to buy, right to buy, whatever, at a very, very reasonable price. But they held off at the last minute, Man U. They kept their powder dry, which I think is a brave thing to do, bearing in mind he's running his contract down. And that was wise, and now they're going to reap the benefits of doing that. If you look at Craig Dawson, you think if Watford had done the same, it might have been a slightly different scenario for them, because I think the buyout, the obligation to buy, which basically was triggered once Dawson had played 14 games. Something like that, anyway. And it means we get him for 2.5 or 3 million quid. That's bad business for them, because realistically, had it got to the end of the season, and he is 30, he's not 35, he's 30. He's going to be playing. He's got a good 4 or 5 years left in him, really. Had it got to the end of the season and Dawson had played as well as he has, and let's be fair, it's been an absolute major success, then if we'd had turned around and said, okay, Craig Dawson is 6.5, 7 million quid, I don't think we would have scoffed at it. I think we would have paid it. And if we hadn't have paid it, someone else in the Premier League certainly would have paid it. So bad foresight from Watford, who clearly had, let's say, underrated a player that they already had on their books. Good business from Man U, who clearly rated a player very, very highly, who they already had on their books. At 40 million, a moot. We're out. We're gone. There's nothing we can do about that. And it's quite funny, actually, because I've been so confident that we will get this deal over the line and we will make this stick, that I didn't really spend much time considering what we would do if Jesse Lingard didn't sign for next season. You remember yesterday I said that if all we did was sign Lingard, then we wouldn't have improved for next season. We need to sign somebody else as well as Lingard to improve. Otherwise, we just have the same squad that we finished the season on. If we lose Lingard, it's definitely worse. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like we have nobody that can play in that position. It's not like we won't have any money for somebody to play in that position, but are we likely to sign a player for 20 million quid that is as good or better than Jesse Lingard? You would have to say no. You have to say no. It's really highly unlikely. Let's just hope that this is, well, number one, it's the Sun getting it wrong, or number two, it's Manchester United, playing games, and a deal can be done. You have to imagine as well, and I believe this to be the case, that the agents are all talking to each other to get this deal over the line anyway. Fingers crossed. It just was a little bit of a worry there for me. Actually, there was another story just there, which was about Moyes probably replacing Said Benrahma for Fornals for this game this evening. I do think that will probably be the case. I think that's probably what we're likely to see. A couple of other things. Firstly, this is another one. This one says Lingard lays down the law to Solskjaer, and this is from picked up of Claret and Hugh, but it was originally sourced at ESPN. It's the ESPN article. It says Jesse Lingard will want two major conditions from Manchester United if he is to consider staying this summer. What do you want? What do you want? Okay, well, I'll tell you now without reading the article. A guaranteed first team place and a long contract. Okay. Let's have a little look at this. Would they give him a long-term contract, even though they probably wouldn't want to commit a load of money long-term to somebody that's not going to play very much? Yes, they would. They would do that to safeguard their asset. They would do that to ensure that Jesse Lingard's transfer value remained high. If they had him on a long contract, they probably could ask close to 40 million for him. The other thing, which is guaranteeing him first team football, is slightly more of a worry, because you can say what you want, can't you? I mean, you can say what you want. It's just whether Jesse chooses to believe it. Solskjaer can say to him to get him to sign so as he can safeguard the asset. Jesse will give you as many opportunities as Bruno Fernandes next season. He can say that, but does it mean he's going to do it? They're two different things, and let's be fair, you're going to tell a little porky pie, aren't you, if it's going to safeguard a £40 million asset. You're probably going to do that, particularly if the club asks you to do so. The truth of the matter is, they're probably going to buy again, Man United. They are possibly going to lose Paul Pogba. They'll probably bring somebody else in. Hopefully not Declan Rice. I don't know. Maybe the Declan Rice thing comes into play in this deal. I would certainly hope not, but it is a little bit of a worry, isn't it, on this score? I don't like to hear that Lingard is saying, if I stay at Man United, I want two conditions. And I guess it's unrealistic of me to think that way. I really want to be thinking that Lingard wants to stay at West Ham. I guess it's unrealistic. Why would a top international player choose West Ham over Manchester United? I guess you wouldn't. But you know what I mean. I want him to have loved it at West Ham so much, to have enjoyed himself so much, that he just decides that he wants to stay. A pipe dream, maybe, a pipe dream. But I didn't like that story very, very much at all. Hopefully Man United are honest and just say, look, Jesse, you don't really have, Fernandes, our main guy. We're bringing other players in. You're only going to be a squad player. You're going to be a bit part player. And I think that is the truth about it. And I just hope they tell him the truth and he doesn't like that answer, then hopefully signs for us. I'm less worried about him signing for another club. Just very quickly as well, the interview with David Moyes about him buying players in the summer window. I really liked what I heard here, which is Moyes saying, look, I haven't got as much money as I would have liked. And I do have some money, but it's not going to be loads because there's not a lot of money in football. He suggested that probably have to be quite creative with the way that they construct deals, which I expected, and that's what I think will happen and should happen. But what I really liked is he said, obviously, if we get into Europe, then we're going to need a bigger squad. But he said, I don't want to do it for the sake of it. And it's clear he likes working with a small squad, because what he said was that I don't want to sign squad players. I'm not that interested in signing squad players. Maybe that could change at the end of the season, meaning Europe, but it's not really in my plans at the moment. Again, it's something that I want to hear. I want to hear that the guy that's coming in is going to go straight into the first team, and whoever's in the first team goes down onto the bench. We sign a centre-back. The current centre-back goes on the bench. We sign a midfielder. The current midfielder goes onto the bench. I know that's less realistic because of our two midfielders who are absolutely brilliant, but you know what I mean. We sign a striker for 30 million. Antonio goes onto the bench. This is absolutely what you have to be doing. And if you're not doing that, then you're not moving forwards. And I think we've seen that with Jesse Lingard coming in. Jesse Lingard has come straight into the first team and he's first team ready. Of course, we saw the same with Souček as well. And of course, we've seen the same with Soufal. This is improving the level of the first team, which in turn improves the bench, which improves everything else, because it means he's more likely to make substitutions. It's more likely that substitutions come off the bench and they make an impact in the game. And I guess as a byproduct, we're more likely to do well in the cups, even though, to be fair to Moyes, he didn't throw the cups, so to speak. He didn't put, the under-23s out or anything like that. But it just means if there are, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 players who are first team ready, and you've got McCann Antonio on the bench, something like that. You've got Aaron Cresswell on the bench, or you've got players like this when you bring, because you've bought their replacements and they're playing well in the first team, better than the people they replaced. Then that's got to be a good thing. And I'm really pleased to hear Moyes say it. Anyway, join us later on, 7:10 over on the main channel. Click the link below if you want to get involved in Patreon. Massive thanks to our sponsor, ETC Sports Surfaces. They do all the surfaces, tennis courts, football pitches, athletics tracks. And if you've got an athletic track, if you haven't, why not? Go and get yourself one.